everyone, it's Beth, and today I have some Tron dApps to give you some updates on, and I am also going to be giving you a brief update on Novachain as well. So stay right there. Okay, so before we get started, if you're new to the channel or you just haven't yet subscribed, then please do take a moment, hit the little red subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on post notifications and definitely hit the like button. Okay, so now I'm going to get in and talk first about some ROI contracts that I am involved in. So the first one that I want to highlight here is Stockpile, because I think this one's really good and it is like not gaining the traction that I kind of thought that it would. So I really just want to kind of go over what I think is so great about this one. And really it begins and ends with there are no forever contracts here. So, you know, that it doesn't have this obligation to pay you on your initial investment forever and ever and ever and ever. Additionally, if you choose to reinvest, every time you do that, you are, putting in that capital again. So, where these numbers look like they're really high and possibly unsustainable, I mean, this shortest package here, so that's the highest payout in the interest rate, it's really, in 16 days, it's going to pay you 7.2% over your initial investment, which is really pretty reasonable, I think. So, I mean, still, this is, well, I don't know how long it will go on, but I mean, that is certainly much more sustainable than, goodness gracious me, I have seen some ridiculous things coming out in this space in the last few days with like 500% of your ROI in a day. And that's just, come on, that can't work. It just, that's not reasonable. So if, as far as risk mitigation in this space, for me, this is certainly much more attractive because it's just like makes more common sense to me. So, I mean, the longest contract here is 45 days. I think that one is the most profitable because, again, every time you're putting in a new investment, you're putting in that capital. So it's not just like, you're getting paid out a percentage forever on that initial investment. So, say you get back your ROI in a month and a half, and then it continues to pay you out all these extra tokens. No, if you go for a month and a half and you want to keep going, you've got to put in that base investment again. So I think this one, for that reason, is really a much, much more attractive contract to me. So I'm super duper duper happy here. And I mean, on my 10,000 tokens that I put in already, I have received back 2,600 of those. Again, I did test out each of these, and I mean, it's great on this short one that I've already gotten back 841 tokens. But I mean, that's 841 tokens back of the 2,500 that I put into that investment. And again, overall, I'm only going to be making 7.2% on this one, 7.2%. So like this longest one here, I'm going to make 66.5% overall throughout the month and a half that this particular investment goes on. So I really, really like Stockpile as far as the ROI contracts that are out here. And, I think that as more of these start to kind of crash and run out of funding, because that's what happens here. I mean, the contract goes on forever, but they eventually get drained. So, I mean, right to that end, and I'm sorry to say it, but the Yin Yang ROI contract ran out of funds today. So, I mean, if you open up the, this is the contract over here on Tron Scan, and there's 0.04 Tron left in this contract. So, I mean, it's done. If you try to get, a withdrawal here, I mean, unless somebody else puts money in, there's not money left in the contract right now. So, I might be accruing dividends, but I can't actually access those. So I'm sorry to say it. And I have seen in the Telegram channel that Yin Yang is working on another game to add to their ecosystem here. But right now, this is an example of what happens to ROI contracts over time when they are paying you out. This one was huge, 5% of your investment every day. I mean, that's a very large number to keep going for people who, especially, it just, the early investors in these, that's the ticket. So back to Stockpile. I'm definitely an early investor here. I feel like this is still very, very early days for this one. And considering the structure of these investment packages, I really think that this is the sleeper right here. So, all right. Next up, not a sleeper. This one's on fire. And this is Tron Bank, which, has a lot of what Stockpile is offering in that it does have 3 plans here that are limited investments. So their bronze plan pays you out over 18 days, an additional 18.8% on your initial over top of your initial investment. Their gold plan will pay you 40% over 25 days on top of the initial investment. The platinum plan will pay you 107% over 45 days. That's really sweet. Yeah, that's really sweet. I mean, this one's awesome too. I'm not gonna lie, but the one thing that does worry me about this one, and it's the one that I'm in, is that it does have that forever option out there. So eventually, people are going to be getting paid out on this without having to re-up their contract, and that is where these other 3 packages that are in this one, I think, are just much more clever as far as the sustainability of the platform goes. So that's where, that's how I feel about these. Don't get me wrong though, where this one is offering the forever contract and I definitely invested in it. So, hopefully that works out for me and I, get my ROI, but I feel pretty good about it because this contract balance keeps going up and up and up and up. So, this thing I think is higher every time I refresh this page. It might have auto refresh, but nope, look, it's even higher. So, this one's, I think it's higher. I guess I should have looked at that number closer, but this one is really, this has been working out really well. So if you got into this one early, then you probably feel really good like I do. All right. Tron Bank Bankroll is still doing quite well. The contract balance, it's definitely slowing down as it is, in its really rocket ship-like growth. It's pretty well holding around 95 million tokens in the contract. So, but of course there is supposed to be Tron Luck or Bank Luck coming out soon, which is a game that will augment this contract as well. So hopefully that will definitely be successful. And certainly I still think that this one has the possibility to be more sustainable than another just ROI contract, forever ROI contract, because it has the treasury portion, which I do think is a really great idea. So I definitely still really like Bankroll as well. I think that, quite frankly, an investment in all 3 of these contracts is what I have chosen to do. And I feel very, very good about that decision and my possibilities of definitely getting ROI on all of these on my own investment. Also, referrals are fantastic in these. So if you guys don't already share your referral links, then you're missing the boat, because that's why they have referral links. They need people to spread the word. They need the contracts to continue to grow, and they are willing to give you a cut so that you'll do that. So if you're not doing that and you're in the space, you gotta ask yourself why. All right, next up, let's talk about some of these other, I think, very sustainable games. And what I really love about the next 2 that I'm going to talk about here is that, and I'm going to have one more coming up, so make sure, not today, but I will be talking about another one soon. So make sure that you stay tuned to the channel for that, because this particular structure I think is fantastic for this space. And that's because your daily payouts get split between your treasury and your pouch, which means that you are forced to reinvest half of what it says you're going to take out on the screen here. And that's awesome, because that's going to keep these things going. And as long as people keep buying units for their army or buildings for their villages, then these things will keep going. And I mean, I'm thrilled with both Tron Knights and Tron Village. I think they're great. So these are two of my absolute very favorite things that I'm in right now. And, and they're nice to look at too. So you can't fault them there. So right now when I add to these, I have been buying the lowest tier in both of these. I did save up, and I recruited a scout the other day, but the scout actually for costing a whole lot more, you don't actually get paid out all that much more. I mean, I feel like I've had pretty good luck with just recruiting additional additional settlers. So that's what I'm doing right now. I think when my payouts start to increase some more, because the snowballs, the more people you have here in your army, I'm definitely looking to add another cleric and another rogue eventually, with aspirations of a warlock. So, I mean, that's just fun. And certainly, as I mentioned in the review that I did of Tron Knights, they are going to be adding more to this platform, additional games, PvP battles, as well as daily quests, and really they've got big plans here. So I really like that as well. I'm super duper happy to be part of Tron Knights and Tron Village, because again, I just love that they split up your daily payouts, so they are keeping the contract going by design. All right, next up here is the Tron Owls, which doesn't make you which doesn't split up your daily payouts, but it does give you an incentive to take some of your daily payout or all of your daily payout and buy more owls with the magic. One magic equals one Tron here in Tron Owls. But if you use magic in order, which is what you get paid out, you get a 30% discount over top of the buy-in price if you are using Tron. So that's a really nice discount to take advantage of, and you get the same payouts every day. So I like that as well. This is another one that is way high up on my list of favorite things right now. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some casino dApps. So Tron Crush started mining it opened last night for this dice game, which I did turn on some auto mining earlier today. I mined some tokens. I've got to say, this mega jackpot, if you watched yesterday's video, you probably saw me talk about the mega jackpot, which has a 2-minute counter that, decreases, but every time somebody makes a bet, which is 200 Tron or greater, time gets added back on to that timer, never to exceed 2 minutes. The last person to bet wins the pot if it ever drops down to 0. So, of course, I have not seen this one under maybe a minute 56. I don't think there it goes, a minute 56. I saw it there for just briefly. I don't think I've seen it under that all day today. So, this one's definitely getting a lot of action. Over here in the TCC dividends, like I said, I mined some tokens earlier today. Right now, at the first stage, I believe it is 600 tokens that you have to bet in order to mine one TCC token. I did, like I said, I wagered some earlier today, and I was able to accumulate 55.91 TCC. I did find here that you can only freeze whole integers. So there you go. That's something that I learned today, sharing that with you. And definitely all day, the dividend pool For every 1,000 Tron, this was over 7,000 TRX was your expected payout. My expected payout since I froze my tokens has dropped by half. So this thing is definitely getting a lot of action. Of course, this is the very first day today, which means it's the very first round. And I mean, as it gets more difficult, well, it gets more difficult. So I'm certainly happy that I mined early today. And I hope that, I hope that I will come out ahead with my dividend payouts over time. So there we go. Another one I hope to come out ahead with my dividend payments over time is Tron Raider and this very, very ruthless monster man who, I'm not going to lie, he beat me up. And I am happy. I mean, at least in the meantime, I was able to accumulate a fair number of rubies. The reason that I'm really highlighting this one today is that they made this available for you to freeze your rubies today. So if you have not yet done so, then you can do that at this point. It is 124 hours until dividends will start getting paid out. So that's on April 1st at 7 a.m. UTC. So if you have tokens, make sure that you freeze them before then, because that's how you get your div payments. Okay. I mean, otherwise here, things are pretty slow in the casino space. These are really, that's why it's so important to get in early with these. As the mining gets more difficult, people lose interest and move on to the next thing. So where I was getting really sweet divs, hundreds of Tron for my frozen dew tokens. Now I'm looking at 2 tonight. There's only 30,000 Tron here in the div pool. So, wow, that is totally different from a few days ago. Okay. I mean, the same story is really over at 888 and at Tron Bet, where, as the mining got more difficult, I mean, this is in stage 25. So now you need 940 Tron in order to mine one 888 token. And I'm only going to be receiving 0.64 Tron from my div payment. So that is what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not selling those tokens really. I don't have any plans to sell those tokens, because I think there will be a time where I will be happy to be receiving that amount of Tron daily. So that's my long-term plan there. Okay, next up and last up here is the Novachain T-Rex beta did end today. The launch is in, I believe it's 4 days. So definitely, that is certainly an interesting product that they're launching. It uses your own Binance account in order to, to make high frequency trades. That model where you use your own Binance account, it really is designed for professional traders. They will be releasing a T-Rex pool, however, which will allow you to, pool your funds with other people and really take, where they set up the settings, which I got to tell you, the settings that the team had over there, they were way more successful than the settings that I had. And, I'm really looking forward to using their settings in the T-Rex pool. I think that is definitely where I want to be. And where I am right now is 196 days into using the Rex bot, which is now Rex 2.0, because they did go ahead and integrate the high frequency trading algorithm with their arbitrage algorithm. So if you look at, the trades that they're reporting here, you can see that it is a mix at this point of high frequency trading and arbitrage, which I think is a great blend. And the payouts have been really very, very solid. So if you've been in Rex for a long time, then that's gravy, right? So I'm happy here with Novachain. I'm certainly looking forward to the T-Rex pool. And yep, so we'll know more in a couple days. We'll see it in live on the mainnet live action, 4 days. All right. That is all I have to tell you fine people today. So if you did like the video, then please do leave it a like. If you would like to see more from me, then please do subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those right down in the comment section. Please do. I love to hear what you all are thinking and what you are doing here in this space. Or if you have any off-topic things, I'm always interested in learning as well. But if you want to participate in any of the things that I did talk about today, I will have some referral links in the description box as well. And thank you very much for your time today, as always, and I will see you next time.